West Texas Droning, episode number 18, The Dawn of Airwolf, part 1. Mini 3, meet Air 3, your new big brother. This is going to be fun. Well, here we are in episode number 18, Dawn of Airwolf, part 1. Airwolf is the nickname I gave my new Air 3 drone when I registered it with the FAA. My first drone, a Mini 3, had the creative nickname of Mini 3, but this one I thought, hey, it's in the air, it's an Air 3, I'll call it the Airwolf, and that's what I did. Now, before we get rolling on it, the first thing I want to address is something I alluded to in a prior video, and that is a drone operator YouTube channel creator that is doing some pretty unorthodox things, and he thinks it does not have any adverse effect. This guy on We're the Roberts, what he's doing there, and you see him actually doing this is photographic evidence. He is putting the left control stick in the right controller, and then he put the right control stick in the left controller, and joked about that there would be no ill effects from doing something like this. And I'm here to tell you that...
And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature. And you will atone.
Pretty scary. And we're going to show you what happens when you meddle with the primal forces of nature, especially here at the Furhopper Ranch, where we have all kinds of portals to other dimensions and paranormal activity. I mean, compared to Furhopper Ranch, Skinwalker Ranch is Tinker Toy Land. There's a huge difference. So what happened? I took out my Mini 3 and its controller, fired it up, and I saw this. Warning. Someone may be meddling with the primal forces of nature. This could get ugly. And sure enough, I wanted to tell you that it did. Now, we'll go through the video. I'll narrate, tell you what's going on, and you'll see what the dangers are when somebody meddles with the primal forces of nature when it comes to drone operations. Everything looks normal, right? Gonna do the takeoff standard way, just punch the button. Here it goes. As usual, I left on the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I'll get them when I can. And so we're just going to start flying. Everything seems normal so far, but at a certain point, you're going to see that when he turns on that controller with the misaligned control sticks, everything goes bat wampus crazy. And I mean, I had a heck of a time controlling this. It went forward in time, it went back in time, it went up, it went down, it went through time portals, and it came back, and it was just crazy. I could not control the thing until he must have turned it off, and then all of a sudden I landed it, and I went, phew, boy, that was scary. So I'm going to implore We're the Roberts to try to use the controller in the conventional method. Don't mess with the primal forces of nature, and I won't have to battle drones that have lost their tiny little minds or become uncontrollable. So anyway, what we're here for is this. Well, here's what we're really out here for today. This is going to be the inaugural flight of the newly obtained and registered Air 3 that I just got. This is its first flight. So we're going to see how it goes. The differences, I didn't get the controller with the view screen built in it. I got the one where you have to put the your cell phone on it. So I don't know how it's going to work. We'll see. But hopefully this is going to work out okay. As you see, the weather was a really good day. We did have a ceiling, but 2,600 foot, which is not an issue for us drone pilots who obey the laws. 10 miles visibility, light winds, nice temperatures. So we're going to go ahead and try out the new Air 3 Airwolf. Now, in this recording, on this edition, or this episode, I concentrated on just showing you the control screen because it was new for me. I had used my iPhone. Getting the iPhone in there was kind of a challenge. Getting everything running was kind of a challenge. Finding the controls was different. And finding the screen recording button is probably one of the strangest things you'll do on an iPhone when you're using this RCN2 controller is the one I'm using. So I'm used to the RC controller with the screen and all the buttons, and this one's a little bit shy of the buttons and a little bit more difficult to figure out the first time. But because I had some knowledge of drone operation, I did kind of figure it out. So this flight, all I was going to do on this flight is just see if the drone flew and worked and how it operated. I found, as you'll see, was going through this flight, that there are places I need to make revisions and adjustments to the control sensitivity, the camera, stuff like that. And that's what a test flight is for, to kind of ring it out and see what's going on, right? As you can see, the yaw function works really well. I didn't get real far away, although I must admit the bigger drone is a lot easier to keep visual light of sight on. It's so much bigger than the Mini 3, and it's a little bit darker color, and to me it's easier to see at greater distances. So I know it would normally only run my Mini 3 out maybe 1,100-1,200 feet. And I think this one's going to be able to go a bit farther and still maintain visual line of sight. When you get dizzy, let me know. Of course, it's nothing compared to what you're going to see in episode 19. Some of the things I do like about the screen, of course, I don't have the radar picture on. I had the map function on, and I'll probably change that because I'm used to the radar looking display in the lower left corner. But the little H is handy there to show you where home is. That's good. I like that. Max altitude reached. That works real good. I set it at about below 400 and it hit 89 and stopped, so that's cool. Here I was checking out the gimbal and putting it straight down. And then what I was gonna do is, the Air 3 has two cameras, a regular camera, or you could call it a wide angle, and a telephoto, a 3x telephoto. And I pushed that rascal several times and it did not zoom. So I'm gonna have to figure out if that was a malfunction of the controller or of my finger. We'll have to work that out. Anyway, in this drone seems to be a nice stable flying drone. Like I said, I need to address the sensitivity of the controls, but I figured to take a test flight and a checkout before I decided what I was going to do. Now we're going to sport mode and we're going to see how fast it'll go. And as you can see down in the lower left hand corner, we got up to 40 miles an hour, which is pretty doggone good for a little old drone like this. And flying this drone, I don't know if you noticed it, we just went by in the lower left corner. I had discovered stuff. When I fly the drone and look down, I find stuff I didn't know was out here. And what we flew over was a big pile of pipe and an old used trailer. So the drones are good to have for agricultural purposes. You can really use them to great advantage. And the more you learn about them, their capabilities, the more useful they are to you. So we're kind of swinging around here, flying around, and getting a feel for it a little bit. You'll see a lot more activity in episode 19, although it was the same day and I had not made the adjustments to the sensitivity yet. I was just trying out some more different controls. So now I'm going to try to return to home and see how these newfangled Air 3s do. And I like the green pathway and the H down there that shows you where you're going. This is pretty clever. You almost feel like you get your money's worth on these. So it's descending down, and I'm going to lower down the gimbal so we can show you where it's going. And there's the landing pad, which is, believe it or not, identical place as the takeoff pad. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I figured it's going to find its way down really accurately, which is pretty good. I was pleased with this first flight on that. Second flight I did the manual return and land. So anyway, that's flight 1, part 1 of the Dawn of Airwolf. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll come back for the second episode, a second half of this episode, and you can see some more raucous, I guess you could call it, flying around, have a little bit more fun with it. Starting to get the feel of the drone. So we appreciate you stopping by. Come back, see us every time. If you push that, go ahead and subscribe and hit the alarm bell. We'll let you know when we're out again. And in the meantime, thanks for coming in, and we say thank you much. Have a great day, and God bless.